Hello everybody. Did I miss that? Stuff that up? Oh, who knows with the way I do my videos. Look, today's video is a hobby modelling episode. I must write it down because I can never remember exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And everybody goes, we know that, John. You never know what you're talking about. Anyway, I've got another delightful piece of terrain from Paul from BP Laser. And this one is the Mausoleum. This is my second home, or was one of my homes at one point of time. Everyone keeps digging me up. Either that or I keep escaping. I'm not quite sure which one it is. I think I escape most of the time. I don't think people really want to dig me up, to be honest. I think they want me to go away. I just keep escaping. Yes. So anyway, let's go have a look at the next umpteen minutes of me rambling on as I attempt to put this delightful building together.
Hello everybody, it's John. We are looking at another work from BP Laser from my good friend Paul. He's given me a mausoleum to put together, and as you will probably see, my attempts at putting this together will bring great amusement to many people, but I am just the average person, and I'm not a master builder, although I do try to do the best I can. And look, honestly, that's all people can do. You know, as long as you're happy with the end result, does it really matter what others think? So here I am trying to pull out these archways. Now I do end up with some very nice leftovers, and those solid arch sections, I'm thinking, what can I do with them in a due course? So, yes. So how's everyone's week been? Has everybody doing well? The day that I'm recording this is a Thursday, and I cannot quite recall when I did this last, and my wonderful neighbour has just put on deep bass music, so I'm hoping that's not coming through on my recording, or I'm going to be rather annoyed in the end. So yeah, hopefully not, but we'll see. The leftover bits and pieces, I tend to keep the leftover MDF sheets because you can always use them for just so many other projects, particularly when you're just looking for that little piece of MDF to fill a gap. Like there, I've got another one of those empty arches, so I'm thinking, yep, that's looking good, I can use that. Now the etching here, you'll find as we get into the latter parts of the video that those etching for the bricks will be rather interesting with lining up when you're putting the outer wall to the mausoleum, because as you can see there's blankness around the sides, and that's for the outer piece to be glued to. So you need to be careful, I guess, how you put it in. That little round template there, footstool is for the door to the mausoleum, and that will fit in there very nicely. And as you can see, I've now got a file. Yes, no more using my dodgy knife with attempting to cut pieces. So there's the base. I again have a quick look at the picture, going, can I do this? Yes, I feel like Bob the Builder. Yes, a proper job. Oh God, my English, well, my capacity to do accents these days has disappeared. I used to be able to do really, really good, mimic my homeland's accents quite well, but I've been ostracised here in Australia for far too long now that I'm a dodgy Aussie now. So, and of course here I am trying to get the walls lined up and I may have been doing this when the wet weather was happening here in Brisbane. So this is probably a couple of weeks old, this actual recording. But I'm continuing to persevere, going, yep, that's looking good. So, good. Yep, there goes the thumb up. And now we see what I'm going to do next. Yes, so I'm tapping it, having a good thing. So that's the roof section. I'm thinking, how's the roof section work? Well, that makes sense as you will continue on. So the old Aquadeer or wood glue or craft glue, whatever you call it, depends really on the areas. It's interesting the way how names for certain things are called different. You know, like for instance, children's nappies. Well, we call them nappies here. The Yanks call it diapers, and which is very strange. Yes, English is better than American, so I'll probably upset a few people now, but I like to think that I can speak English. Probably not. Been here, as I said, been here too long now. So there goes that wall, looking good. The glue's obviously helping everything slot in. Oh, and I've whacked the camera. So very good at doing that, aren't we, John? So whacking the camera was me trying to get some sticky tape. Now I've actually gone and gotten myself masking tape now. So I went and bought that today and almost died at the cost of what masking tape. $2.50 for a small roll that was probably, 15 centimetres across, and probably not even a centimetre in thickness. So I was looking at that going, I'm not going to get a lot of tape out of what it is. Considering, before the epidemic and everything, I guess the supply routes were a lot easier. Prices were not as dear or ridiculous as they seem to be going at the moment. So it's frustrating that you think that 2 years ago we could get a certain product and the price was quite decent, but now I think, in my opinion, I just think businesses are taking advantage of excuses to increase their prices, and of course the customers, us Joe Average, have to pay the price. And but am I right? Who knows? I'm probably wrong. It's just the way. As a person who's on a pension and with limited income, I don't work anymore. It's frustrating when you look at just the continuous rise in prices, and my pension got increased by a staggering $3.20. As I said to the wife, I said, what the hell am I going to go do with $3.20? Won't pay much. So there we go. That is the roof section for the mausoleum that I've done, and it fits there nicely, and you will find out how that slots in a little later. So I've turned that upside down just to give a bit of solidness, and these are the walls that I was talking about. Now this is where you need to have a look at how they line up, and as you can see, I've suffering indecision as to which is the best way to do things, and I think that's the way. And I'm thinking, okay, how's that then goes there. All right, cool. I think I've worked out how I will assemble the outer wall of this model. So yeah, so it's interesting as a pensioner trying to make ends meet is not easy. In some respects, at least, I don't have the costs of going to work. I sadly don't have a motor vehicle anymore, which is the greatest loss for me. But considering how dear petrol is, perhaps it's a godsend I'm not actually driving anywhere. My son, I know, has to drive a bit of a distance to get to and from work, so he's constantly having a bit of a whinge. And for some reason, my speed setting has changed here, so you'll just have to bear with as we have a bit of a Benny Hill moment of getting that to work. I've used, as you can see, clamps, and that's the roof sitting on top. So when the outer wall goes on, it creates a lip which allows you to slot the roof section in so it doesn't move around. So that's the bottom skirting, if you'd like to call it that, for that goes along the outside, which is good. And now we're back to normal videoing. So here I am attempting to get the top. Now, in hindsight, I'm now thinking I should have turned this model upside down and put it on the cutting mat and got it all lined up. So we learned these things. Now, listen, rubber bands are not the best thing to do, but I will continue for a few moments trying to work out how... No, John, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Yes, everybody, have a good laugh at John the Incompetent, attempting to think, how can I get this to stick? I'm thinking, maybe if I put the rubber bands on the outside, that'll create enough tension? No. But, you know, you learn these things as you're putting your models together. Obviously, the more models you put together, the more savvy you will come to being able to assemble things. So I've now wandered off. I'm looking for some bulldog clips or clamps, or I don't know what you call them. I know them as bulldog clips. So I'm using them to lock the sections in place, and as you can see, I'm having a little bit of fun because I thought sticking it in the centre would work, but it bends, and I will come back and yep, there we go, there goes on the other one. So that'll lock those into place, and the pressure that you will get from applying those clamps will help. Now, the only thing that I've found, and I'm thinking pretty much it's the wet weather, I've not gotten a good seal when it comes to the edges, to the corners, sorry. So if you have a look, you will see that the corners don't quite mesh, but I intend to use a sand and Aquadia mix to coat this mausoleum, so that will hide a lot of that problems. And now we've got the issue again of the video doing strange things on me, and this is, I think, me putting the final edges. Yes, now I've got to go find out what's happened to the rest of my little construction, so bear with me for a few moments. Well, it would appear that I have lost the last section of my mausoleum, which shows it all put together. So I do apologise, everybody, but look, that was me trying to put the mausoleum together. Look, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, signing off, the Honourable John.